Good evening, race fans. Welcome into the season finale, race 15 of 15 here for LSRL Season 9. The Xfinity Series comes to Las Vegas, where one lucky driver will walk out of here, the champion. Here, as always, with Art. How are we doing tonight?
I'm real excited. I love Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's probably one of my favorite for championship races. I know the Xfinity car puts on a great race here, so I'm real excited.
And race information is as follows for the Wilder Graphix Championship 210. 2 laps of qualifying to set the field for the 140 lap main event. The stage break is at lap 40. The estimated fuel run 35 to 40 laps. 6 total sets of tires, 1 starter set, 5 in the pits, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers if needed. Tonight, your championship 4 are Mark Whitley, Randy Arms, Kyle Ritchie, and Jonathan Mazzella. Going for the title here in Las Vegas. Mark Whitley, one of the first ones out on the racetrack.
Yeah, 2 of these championship 4 potentially bringing beef over from last race. Whitley and Randy Arms, they were getting into it, a little on-track action.
I know they had a talk post-race. They say there's no issues between them. We'll see how that, changes with a championship on the line.
Yeah, championship on the line. All it's going to take is one just touch taken the wrong way, and it's going to be gloves off.
Here we go. Whitley sets out for his first lap. 18 drivers here tonight, 4 fighting for a championship. Let's go on board with Whitley. Track position going to be so crucial here. 3 and 4 for his first time lap. Right on that third seam, right side tires right on it. Don't want to hit the wall at a 4. He had to lift there just a tiny bit, it sounded like, but he's going for his first lap being the fast one underneath the apron. It's actually Quisenberry that goes top, so he'll go for another lap, trying to gas it up out of turn number 2. 3 minutes and change remaining.
It's definitely going to be a second lap right here. Glenn Murphy also pretty slow on his first lap.
Kyle Ritchie, 30.2, but you see there on the bottom right of your screen, Whitley, quickest of anybody in the first sector. Can he complete the lap on the second half? Yes, he can. 30.188, 600s clear of Kyle Ritchie. That's a shot across the bow. What does Randy Arms have? He just set off for his first lap. That's third. Now 4th on the first lap. Can he improve enough on the second?
Ooh, Kyle Ritchie actually jumping up to P2 right now.
30.24. He does improve. But will it be Randy Arms? Mazzella 8th after his second lap. Now 4th. And here comes Randy for his final time of the championship 4. Randy crosses the line. It's good enough for P6.
That's going to be a tough one.
So your championship 4 separated by just over a 10th. Randy in 6th. 1.129 seconds behind.
Yeah, Randy's going to have to, get through a little bit of traffic early, get on, potentially the tail of Mark Whitley, and start thinking about this strategy. We know LSRL. We know it's probably going to be a fuel strategy race.
Yeah, especially with that, saving fuel is going to be important. You don't want to run out in the first stage if you can help it. Put yourself behind the 8 ball early. Not a whole lot of cautions here tonight. Michael Davis goes 7th on his first lap. Here comes Jared Lindsay on his first lap. Been very quick this season in limited starts. Sets off on his final lap. Michael Davis about to finish his second lap. Looks to be on for some improvement. And he does improve, but stays in the 7th position. Lindsay out of turn number 4. Looks like a pretty tidy lap. He'll cross the line. Just under a minute remaining. James Goodwin goes 13th.
Ooh, that's your new P2 from Jared Lindsay.
30.22. So Randy Arms all the way down in 7th now. Good one out of turn number 2. A little loose. He will have time to finish the lap. And he is the only man left on the racetrack. The number 11 machine currently P14. He did improve in the first half of the lap. He'll go from 13th or 14th to 13th. Jumps William Bowman. And that is the 15 drivers that elected to qualify. Joseph McGill, sitting on pit road, will not have a lap. And Alex Chira, Samuel Demien, also joining him in not qualifying. The Wilder Graphix 210. The grid is set. All that's left to do, 140 laps, and we'll have crowned a champion.
I mean, you're going to do what I think you're going to do, right?
That's correct. I'm picking Mark Whitley for the championship, the race win, and the championship. He's 6-time winner this season. I think he'll get it done again this week. And he finally broke through. Had like a 2 or 3 week winless drought. Got back into victory lane last week. I think all the momentum's on his side. Starting P1, the only man in the 30.1 second bracket in qualifying. I think it's his to lose.
I'm going to take the man starting right behind him. Give me Kyle Ritchie.
Kyle Ritchie knows how to be smooth and consistent, and should something happen between Whitley and Randy, then maybe there's a chance for that 76 to pick up his second win of the season and get to victory lane. Let's not count out Jonathan Mazzella. He starts P5 here tonight. He's had a brilliant run to get into the playoffs. Needed some great results to even get in, and then once he got in, it was more consistency, and he is now into the championship 4. But it should be a good one here tonight. Long season comes to a close. From Daytona, a couple of months ago, all the way west towards Las Vegas.
Even with, I believe, some race postponements.
We had 1 week postponed due to some heavy storms impacting the entire East Coast a couple of weeks ago, but we got through it. And we're looking forward to a really good championship finale here tonight. We'll be sure to keep you updated on if there's any funny business in the race. Obviously, iRacing had a huge update today, as everybody knows that is watching this. Rain has been added and a whole host of other features and updates and goodies. So they were working through some kinks earlier this afternoon. Some drivers had reported of some visual glitches in practice, but all of them have gridded up, and they got the go-ahead, so it looks like we'll be all right. But there's always a chance for something. This is, virtual racing. There's always a chance for something to go wrong. Be sure to update the viewers if necessary, should something occur due to the new update, the new build.
Yeah, we've seen some drivers have a cone stuck on their head, so...
Yeah, a visual little blue tarp almost, so... We'll see if that materializes in the race. We know some drivers were able to fix that just by leaving and rejoining, but there are, at the top of your screen, the drivers highlighted in purple. It was 12 last week. It's 4 tonight. Those are the championship 4. Highest finishing driver of those 4 gets the title and all the glory that goes with it. Lights are off on top of the pace car. We're getting right underway. And it's a 40-lap sprint. And then a 100-lap marathon to the end. So that's one way to think of it.
That man is angry.
Yes, he is. He's not ready for the season to be over, but still got 140 laps. Should be a good one. Coming out of turn number 4. Mark Whitley, as he's done so many times this season, has the field in hand. Pace car is off, makes the hard left-hand turn. We enter the Geico restart zone, and we are green. Championship race is underway.
Really out to an early lead. No benefits of being the bulldozer.
Got a good restart. And he'll be clear heading down The back straightaway, side by side for second. Now Jared Lindsay pulls ahead of Kyle Ritchie, side by side now for third. Shorts looking all the way up top, potentially 3 wide in the early going. Kyle Ritchie down 1 spot. Now 2, Mazzella down 2, and Randy Arms stationary. So the perfect start for Mark Whitley. He doesn't have to win the race, just has to finish in front of his 3 championship rivals. Biggest mover so far, Landon Quisenberry. Picked up 2 spots on the opening lap. Trying to hold that. Off of Michael Davis on the outside. Jared Lindsay also down 2 spots. So Glenn Murphy Jr. and Jonathan Shorts, the big benefits of that.
Ritchie now, fighting with him. Gonna bring Randy into this.
And here's the first battle for the race lead. That's Glenn Murphy Jr. to the inside of Mark Whitley. Murphy shot out of a cannon 4th to 1st in just 3 laps. And Whitley, there's no need to panic if you're the 77 machine. Murphy obviously not running for a championship this season. Your next closest championship contender is back and forth, so you got a car buffer. Still no need to panic just yet. But what you don't want to do is get yourself wrecked off the bumper of a non-championship driver. If you throw a block on a championship driver and they elect not to lift and take you out, then so be it. But don't get yourself involved. Oh my goodness. And that almost took out all 3.
And that dangerously close.
That almost took out everyone behind Mark Whitley. Jared Lindsay almost turned Shorts right into Kyle Ritchie and Mazzella. That could have been the championship right there, but they lived to survive another lap. Randy Arms +1 position so far. He's into the 6th position, so the entire championship 4 inside the top 7. Make it top 8 if Quisenberry can complete this pass. So far, Glenn Murphy Jr. and Mark Whitley, the 2 leaders in the early going. Interesting enough, this 21 machine in a brand new paint scheme this week. Not in the Wood Brothers scheme, but...
I was going to say it looked good till I saw McConey on the side of it.
Oh, dear. But he's at the back uncharacteristically. I feel like he's saving a bit of fuel. Let's go on board with him, as he has dropped off the pack heavily. And no, not actually saving any fuel there, so not sure what the 21's... Maybe he's dealing with a technical glitch, but haven't heard anything. And here comes Kyle Ritchie back up to where he started in 3rd, and here's Mark Whitley, the championship leader, championship favorite. 3/10 ahead of him. We work lap number 8.
This might, be just a conspiracy theory, but I mean, if these speed zone guys, they brought Glenn Murphy in and said, hey, just go get in front of Mark Whitley. Don't let him run away. Give him that dirty air. Make it a tight race.
It could. Murphy starting to stretch his legs just a little bit. One of the few races that Whitley never really looked like a dominant threat to win was Gateway, and that was when he was dealing with a lot of speed zone traffic, and they kind of were able to hold him at bay.
Ritchie's going to make a challenge here for Mark Whitley and P2.
I think if you got a chance in the early going just to get in front of him, I'd say do it. You get the stage at lap 40, so try and feel some things out. See how hard you can push those tires. Knowing that you have 5 sets in the pits. You shouldn't use all of them. So why not be aggressive just right at the early going, see what you got.
I wonder if there's a little bit of saving here for Mark Whitley, at least for tires.
Oh, he's into the wall there.
Maybe he's just fighting on his car.
Here comes Kyle Ritchie all over the back bumper. There goes Jared Lindsay. Here comes Randy Arms and Shorts, Quisenberry, and Mazzella. Your top 8. And then Glenn Murphy Jr. is checking out to a different postal code. Whitley under some pressure here, side by side behind them for fourth. Or third, excuse me.
I mean, also technically fourth, but neither of them want that position.
The loser of the battle ends up in fourth. And behind that, Randy Arms, Schwartz, side by side again. Those two have had some good battles over the course of 2+ seasons we've been doing LSRL. If you're Kyle Ritchie, you just feel a little bit, man, I was getting ready to go in to pass Whitley, and now I got Jared Lindsay to my outside, and you're getting involved in another battle. If you're Mark Whitley, Kyle Ritchie, Jonathan Mazzella, Randy Arms, you have to finish all 140 laps, and then you see where you stand at the end of that. Can't get involved in some nonsense early, take yourself out of contention. Especially with these Xfinity cars, any slight damage will affect the car hugely in the aerodynamics department. You do not want to be the one that is left fighting with one hand tied behind your back. It's no surprise that your biggest mover is Glenn Murphy Jr. He's got great speed, and he is the only man that has tapped into the 30.3s on the long run thus far.
And that's not a surprise from him. Back when we first started here for LSRL, it was pretty clear like Glenn Murphy Jr. was, I don't want to say the class of the field, but he was definitely up there in the upper echelon of LSRL.
He was Mark Whitley before it was Mark Whitley.
And then we had Jared Lindsay.
Yeah, you wonder, if guys like Glenn Murphy Jr., Jared Lindsay, if they were able to run full-time. Obviously they have obligations outside of league racing, but they would be right in this championship hunt, obviously. Look at the speed they have in limited starts. Jared Lindsay ran, I believe, 3 races this season, and he's got 3 top 5s to show for it. Glenn Murphy Jr. has run 4 races. He's got 3 top 5s to show for it. So they bring speed each and every time they come to the racetrack.
Cool to see all 3 of them out here for a full season, just like the heavy hitters of the heavy hitters.
Absolutely. And then even further back, here's Alex Chira making a limited appearance. And that, I'm assuming, was brought on by Kyle Ritchie, just saying, hey, just give me some numbers. Give me my TTSL teammate out here, and let's just see what happens. So, but he's down in 15th right now, but technically the 76 is not fighting alone. Mark Whitley is. He's the only man in here without a teammate. I know he's got some great guys in the spotter stand with him and making some good calls, but in terms of actually on the racetrack doing battle with him, it's just Mark Whitley. And he's holding his own right now. We'll see if he's able to climb back up to Glenn Murphy Jr. Maybe his 48 burned his tires out just a little bit in that charge to the front. And I would say that he has. It was a second, now it's half of a second. Let's go on board with Whitley. Yeah, it's Glenn Murphy Jr. running a 32.06 lap in the clean air. Whitley a 31.99, so he is closing in. It looks like he's getting a lot better rotation through the center of the corner.
Yeah, I think that's where that, a little bit that Kyle Ritchie started to catch up and get on his back bumper, where I was talking about maybe saving a little bit of tires. Coming into play now.
And yeah, like we saw Glenn Murphy Jr. get shot out of the can in the opening 10 laps, and if Whitley's like, all right, you passed me, but it's not for the championship. So even if Jared Lindsay gets around you, you're still leading the championship quartet. So you don't have to fight too hard. Obviously, if Kyle Ritchie gets to your back bumper, you're going to defend it a little bit differently than Jared Lindsay or Glenn Murphy Jr. or so on and so forth. But I'll be curious to see how he manages it going forward. Now, he's the one on the offensive. How does he plan to get back by this 48 if he feels like he's being held up? Because you can let cars that you're not racing with go by you all day long, but Just trying to complete the pass is a whole different story, and somebody thinking about a pass here is the 98 of Casey Brown. And Ryan Tiller's right up on the back bumper.
Gonna try and get a run possibly in a 1 here.
But he is right in the tire tracks. We've seen it time and time again. They don't want to be stuck behind somebody in the dirty air for longer than you can help it.
I mean, you actually saw just how tight that car got on entry behind Tiller.
It looks like for now he's content to just sit there and maybe force a mistake. A little bit further back, here's Michael Davis, James Goodwin, Alex Chira, Joseph Murata, William Bowman, McGill, and Demyen, who is just uncharacteristically way off the pack. I do want to see if he's fuel saving at all. He elected not to qualify, but then has been nowhere since the drop of the green flag. I don't see any visible damage. Not sure what the issue with this 21 machine could be. I see no damage. Davis and James Goodwin side by side at the line, the 11 machine. We'll try and build up some momentum on the top side of the racetrack. Michael Davis trying to go that shorter way around on the bottom side. Right now they are stalemated back up front.
Got a battle here between Randy Arms, Kyle Richie Schwartz looking to get in on this.
And Randy actually now has moved into second in the championship running order. He's gotten around Mazzella and Kyle Ritchie, so that little burst of speed there from Ritchie might be hurting him in the long run as we're halfway through this first and only stage, and Randy might have a little something left over. He's only 0.8 of a second behind Mark Whitley, who has kind of stalled out in that 2/10 range behind Glenn Murphy Jr.
And Kyle Ritchie now under pressure from Jonathan Mazzella.
You're a whole championship 4 in the top 7 still. And even if you're Mazzella, you're 1.3 seconds behind Whitley. That's easily made up on pit entry, pit exit, so nothing to worry about yet.
It could also easily be gained by Mark Whitley.
It could. Let's crank it up, though, for the first time here in Las Vegas in this championship race, the Wilder Graphix 210. Looks like everyone worked out all right through that crank it up curse potentially. And look at this mess from Jonathan Schwartz all the way back to Mazzella. This is the hornet's nest you don't want to find yourself in, especially if you're a Championship 4 contender. Top 2 starting to stretch their legs just a little bit, and here comes Mark Whitley to the outside. Glenn Murphy Jr. trying to take the lead back.
It's kind of funny that you say it's a situation you don't want to find yourself in as a Championship 4 contender when 3 of them were involved in it. They're right there on top of each other.
And here is the other one. Whitley takes the lead back. And he'll try and set sail now, especially if he can put Glenn Murphy Jr. back in the dirty air. Joseph McGill is in. This could be a planned stop for fuel. It is going to be iffy if they can make it. 69 machine slides into the box, and it looks like it'll be a 4-tire stop. He'll go 1 lap down, but if everyone else is able to save, he'll be the lucky dog. And he is down and away. Won't have to worry about fuel the rest of the stage. Ooh, Whitley almost into the wall. Glenn Murphy Jr. was sliding around there just a bit. Randy Arms trying to get clear through to 3rd. And chase after your top 2. And just like I said, there's 3 of the 4 championship drivers right there. And Whitley just slowly starting to stretch his advantage. Glenn Murphy Jr. not going away without a fight. Andy rim riding Kyle Ritchie through the middle. Schwartz on the bottom.
Ooh, Randy into the outside wall there.
Kyle Ritchie going to take a peek. There's no real reason to sit behind somebody at this stage. Stage points, you know, kind of fly out the window. You're in the championship 4. 3 wide between
3 wide.
The championship leaders. Randy backs out wisely. Glenn Murphy Jr. has stabilized at 0.2 of a second. So he is not going away. The fight for the stage win still in the mix. We hear a couple of guys shutting the engine off. They're trying to save a little bit of fuel. Let's go on board with Randy Arms as he heads off into turn number 1. Let's see what his game plan is. And he is saving fuel. Lindsay's not. Schwartz is. Michael Davis, Quisenberry, Chira. So, a decent mix. We'll see how the strategy plays out. Let's go on board with Mark Whitley. He's saving fuel, as is Glenn Murphy Jr. So, a little bit of fuel saving needed to get to lap 40. Murphy back on the attack, though. Taking a peek to the inside, down the front straightaway. 1 car length separates your 2 leaders. They've put 1.2 seconds on Kyle Ritchie. Just a couple of laps ago was at the tail end of your championship 4. Now he's 2nd in line. So these guys keep swamping. Now it's Randy back down to 5th. He was leading this group of 3. But fuel saving coming into play.
And you're definitely not going to want to lose any more than where you're at right now for Randy. Get through these pit stops during, the stage and just try and continue the fight.
32.38 from Mark Whitley last lap. Joseph McGill a 30.90. So fall off will be a huge factor. We've seen a couple times this season drivers trying to take advantage of pitting 5 to 7 laps early, the undercut. But they would have the same issue we've run into every time this season. Just the
Murphy Jr. challenge for the lead again. Sorry.
No worries, but if you come in 5 to 10 laps before your rival, you'll have the benefit of fresh tires. You will be quicker in the short term, but over the long run, nearly 40 laps, they will pull you back in.
Kyle Ritchie is slowly closing the gap to the front 2. If they could potentially make a charge, could change things up for the pit side.
I wonder if Mazzella is content to just kind of be pulled along here. I'm hoping that these 2 battle and they can send a message here right at the end of the stage. Which is in just under 2 laps when we take the next lap, lap 39. If you're Whitley, don't do anything silly for the stage win. If you get 2nd, oh well. Glenn Murphy Jr. wants it that bad, you're going to have to give it to him. Battle for the win, though, looking very interesting. Glenn Murphy Jr. has not gone away. At 77, has not been able to pull away. 77, though, is consistently using that middle line. He's going to have that momentum on corner exit, and 48 falls back in line. Tries to get a draft down the back straightaway and launches attack, and that's a perfect example of taking away your competitor's line right there, keeping them trapped in your dirty air. And Whitley's not feeling the need to go down below the apron and block. He's just going to let that 48 use his stuff up. Last lap of the stage here. 48 is hustling.
He got right to the back bumper of Whitley, and you can see it got tight.
Should be all the advantage that Whitley needs. Still saving fuel into the last corners. Then Murphy Jr., I think, lifting a little bit just to conserve that fuel, realizing he's not going to get the stage win. Here comes Mark Whitley, picking up yet another stage win back to Jonathan Schwartz in 10th. And the yellow flag is out. And I imagine everyone is instantly into fuel conservation mode. Fuel saving. Fuel saving, fuel saving. Pretty much everybody except for Casey Brown inside the top 10. And now, yeah, everybody's saving fuel. Don't want to run out. That went caution-free, obviously. So you do not want to run yourself out of fuel. Whitley on the apron. You got to catch the pace car, though. We'll see if anyone wasn't able to save enough. It looks like Scarbo's going to be forced to come in. That'll be a penalty. And while we reset the running order, let's quickly get in a couple quick words from the incredible sponsors of the LSRL Xfinity Series. But getting ready here for the restart. Joseph McGill did get the lucky dog. And he'll come in and make another pit stop. And it'll be all 18 cars on the lead lap. You saw that they were starving on fuel. Everyone was on the apron. Normally you'd have some people that say, hey, leader, go catch the pace car. But everyone was perfectly content to kind of ride around on the apron and putt around and not have to burn any more fuel than necessary. They all made it. 4 fresh tires. Bola Sunoco Racing fuel ready for the restart here on lap number 46. We'll get back underway.
We still have people saving. Ryan Taylor back there was on the apron.
You might as well. And if you're at the back, why not come in and top off again, right? Just in case. You just never know how it'll shake out. And that was the thing, though. Whitley, that's probably the one time that pole position was a disadvantage, having to crawl all the way down pit road, depending on how close it was with fuel. But the reason that everyone was so desperate to stretch it there was just specifically so that you don't want to have to come in and make an extra pit stop on lap 35 and then immediately have to come in again on lap 40 and you kind of just waste a set of tires compared to everybody else. Joseph McGill didn't think he could save enough, so he came in. That was the cautious route. It doesn't cost him anything. He should have enough tires to get to the end of the race. But if you're in the front runner, you don't want to have to waste a set of tires that your rivals could use later to blow by you for the championship. So everyone was desperate to make it to lap 40. And now it's kind of, all right, let's see what we got now or not. We don't have to make it to a magical number. We can pit, you know, with 1 lap of fuel safely remaining. We don't have to completely stretch the tank dry. Your championship 4 are all in the top 6.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty important start here for, you know, Mazzella, Ritchie. There goes Mark Whitley.
Whitley is gone. And that broke everybody up. The second he was able to go, Mark Whitley went. And what he's going to do now is says, all right, Glenn Murphy Jr., you might be a little bit quicker than me. Come and catch me again. Burn your stuff up. Get in front of me, and I'll run you back down. Burn your stuff up, and I'll make you a non-factor over the long run if I can. But what Kyle, Ritchie, Randy Arms, and Mazzella can't do is they can't squabble over, hey, I need to be leading the second, you know, I have to be second in the championship. They just work together to try and do something to get Mark Whitley out of, you know, this clean air up front. And then it did not take Glenn Murphy Jr. long. He's going to go ahead and instantly fly to the inside. He's sticking to a strategy. He's going to try and take the lead early and often if he can. Tony Scarbo is back on pit road in the 59 machine. Not sure what happened there. He had come in under yellow twice to top off a fuel, but an unscheduled stop here, obviously. So, not sure what's happening to the 59.
If I'm one of the 3 that aren't Mark Whitley, I start contemplating alternate strategies. Do I come in like super early, get my tires, and just completely change the race?
Well, it'd be easier if they were, you know, all on one specific team. I mean, Randy and Mazzella have a pretty close alliance, but Kyle Ritchie's not involved specifically with that. So I guess if you're Randy or Mazzella, one of you guys could go really, really long. One of you could pit really early, and you could try to get Mark Whitley stuck in the middle somehow. If you were that desperate for the team championship. Say, hey, I'll go really long, hold him up. You pit really early, undercut him, and we'll just try and hold him up. Kyle Ritchie's kind of doing his own thing right now. I mean, obviously he doesn't have any affiliations. So we'll see what he elects to do once it gets down to green flag pit stops, if we get there.
Right now, he's under pressure from Jared Lindsay. Not something he wants to deal with right now. He wanted to push on Whitley. Well, Lindsay's going to force his way through.
So I'll be curious to see how it is, because we saw in the first run, Glenn Murphy Jr. shot out of a cannon, got past Mark Whitley pretty quick, fell back, then got repassed by Whitley. And you think, oh, that's it. He burned up stuff up. Mark Whitley's in the lead. He's gonna be clear now. That was not the case. He actually got passed, and then he stuck right in that 0.2 of a second bubble. That 48's got some serious speed. We'll see if he can manage his tires a little bit better on this run and maybe hold that first position. I think Kyle Ritchie learned a lot in that first run. We saw him challenge. He's been the closest competitor in terms of the championship for to passing Mark Whitley. He had a couple peaks to the inside, then he fell back. So I think, oh, that's Whitley into the wall. You do not want to do that a whole lot. That was more than just like a kiss. That was, he kind of shunted off that wall.
I don't see any damage, so
He mightn't have got it away with one there, because there are no guaranteed cautions. I do see some right front damage there. I do see a little bit of a scrape there to the right front of that 77. We'll see if he can manage. Like, he's not going to be able to get all that fixed if we don't bring out a caution. Cosmetic damage potentially, but that is a heart and mouth movement for fans of the 77. Yeah, you can definitely see the scrape down the front stretch there. No one was able to take advantage, though, and get around him yet, so I think he'll be okay, but you don't want to chance it, you know? You don't want to tempt fate and be like, how many times can I hit the wall before it's not cosmetic?
Mazela getting challenged by Quisenberry.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. The Championship 3, they've been battling with each other and others, so it's like no one has really been able to launch a sustained attack against Mark Whitley and be like, hey, I'm going to be the guy that's... I've separated myself from the other two. I'm going to go chase after Whitley. That's been Glenn Murphy Jr. and Jared Lindsay, and obviously they're not racing for a championship.
Got word from the spotter of Mark Whitley, cosmetic. Gonna hopefully keep it that way.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I think it actually might have disappeared already. Yeah, I don't even see it anymore. So it was there for a lap and then disappeared. I don't know. Just I think he'll be totally fine. If it was affecting him already, I'm sure Jared Lindsay would have taken the opportunity to sail off by him. Here comes a 76 to the inside. Kyle Ritchie has looked quite speedy here tonight. You wonder if he might be the best challenge. But it's interesting, though, that, I mean, Jared Lindsay, I think, in the entire season has made one mistake. Lindsay loose out of 2. I think it was the pit road speeding he had at Texas way back in, like, the 4th race of the season. I think that was his most significant mistake. We really haven't seen him just kind of lose handle of that race car and be like, oh, he's tightened into the wall, or he loses it on his own. That's not to say that everyone else consistently knocks the fence down, but Mark Whitley, you just think, oh man, he's always running up inside the top 5, and he just knows where to put that car. But we've seen him once or twice get up into that outside wall and just barely get away with it. So he is pushing hard tonight. He wants to keep those guys behind him and come out of here with the championship. So he is pushing that 77 machine for all it's worth.
Speaking of pushing, Kyle Ritchie and Jared Lindsay are just going back and forth, trying to overtake each other. This is really not going to help out.
That's the thing, though. If he gets clear, it's like, great, I can finally get after him. Not great, because I burned my stuff up doing it. You heard it there best from some of the crew on the 77 machine. That's Harpoon Design. That's what makes his paint schemes, help him out. He said it's a little tight tonight in the car, and I think that's a condition a lot of people will be feeling. Let's see here what Kyle Ritchie elects to do. He is closing in on the 77. I think the 77 has been committed to that middle line most of the night. and using that momentum very well. So we'll see how easy the 76 will find it to get around. And now he's got Randy right on his back bumper as well. So, and that's the problem that Kyle Ritchie will have. If it's Mazzella and Randy, and one of them's a little bit quicker to be like, all right, go win one for, you know, the Speed Zone organization, the conglomerate of teams. But Randy and Kyle Ritchie, you know, they race each other with respect and everything, but they have no team affiliation. Randy's like, well, I got to get in front of you. So we'll see if he plays nice. Because what you don't want is if all of a sudden Kyle Ritchie finds some more speed and he blows by Mark Whitley, you got to keep up with Kyle Ritchie now instead. You can't just assume that it's going to be the 77. You got to be prepared for if anybody else starts to take control. You got to keep up with the ever-changing dynamics.
You just got to be ready for anything. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Right now, Glenn Murphy Jr. is just having a heck of a time out in the lead. 1 second clear. And what this is going to do, a gap like this, it'll allow him to cool his tires, clean air. He doesn't have to worry about anyone pushing him too hard. And he can save his stuff for if or when they can pick on if Mark Whitley, Kyle Ritchie, and this group catches back up to him.
See, if I'm Kyle Ritchie, I'm thinking here in potentially the next 10 laps is when I'm going to pit again. Just throw everything out the window.
Just go for broke, huh? Because think about it, if we get essentially 40 laps, and they were hugely saving fuel, the second the caution came out and they were saving fuel throughout the course of the run, you assume that they get a little bit less mileage during, you know, full bore. They pitted on lap 42. The restart was on 46. So you thinking lap 80-ish?
I was going to say 70, 75.
80-ish is really right when the window will be, you know, at its peak, somewhere in the early 80s. Yeah, I could definitely see someone getting risky and trying to pull a move here in the late 70s for sure. But if you're Mazzella, you don't have to worry, oh, I'm 6th place. You are 9/10 of a second behind the leader of the championship. There's no reason to completely throw everything at the wall just yet. You are right in contention. And likewise for Mark Whitley, there's no reason to be like, oh, I have this locked up. I have it completely under control. He's been challenged tonight. I think he'll be the first to admit that. He has been hustled and pushed along, which is good to see. I mean, there's been a couple races this season where it's just been utter Mark Whitley dominance, but it seems everyone brought their best piece tonight. They really did.
Yeah, everyone's just right there on top of each other. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be competitive. They just want to look good. Even like the guys outside of the top 4 want to look good going into next.
And they've been battling pretty hard back here too. Let's not throw anything away from these guys. They show up every week and compete, and they're battling just as hard as the guys up front fighting for the race win and the championship. There's some good racing all over the place.
In all of these races, for every driver are learning races. Even like the guys sitting at the back, like they could come in, put the work in, and next season they'll be racing for wins, maybe the championship, at least getting into the playoffs.
I'm still just a little bit bewildered on Demien. I mean, he's got 8 top 10s this season. Running 13th, he's finally starting to head in the right direction. But he ran 17th, 18th for most of that first stage. So, a little curious, but he's finally... I think Demien, this is season 9, I think Demien was one of the guys that you mentioned put in the work season 7, season 8, and then he took a big leap forward in season 9 here. In terms of consistency and getting some results.
Yeah, and I believe he did also make the playoffs. He's looking very strong.
He was almost a contender for the championship 4 before a work trip took him out of commission.
It's not necessarily happening here tonight, though.
And then obviously not here tonight. Whether it's they're off exploring the new rain build or they're out of the championship 4 and they just wanted to not interfere. William K. Price, Mike DeWalt, I mean, guys have come in and taken the league by storm with their good performances. See who will take that leap next season. It's exciting.
Let me get a Landon Wisenberry playoff push.
I think if he just gets some not even great luck, just some halfway decent luck. He's had just a couple of races this year where it did not go his way through no fault of his own. I guess that's life of a Kansas fan, though.
Maybe I should take that back. Kind of forgot he was a Kansas fan.
But yeah, it's been a great season. There's a great core group of drivers here. We cannot recommend this league enough. They will be hosting recruitment races in the off-season to try and find some more talented drivers to add to their ranks, and we're looking forward to it. It's a great core group and clean racing, hard racing, week in and week out, and we cannot be more excited for the future.
They need to start building it back up. Have 40 cars, 30 cars.
It was interesting. They had 52 at Daytona. They had a lot of races that were 30 plus, but just the new year comes around and people get busy again, and just kind of Oh, Kyle Ritchie into the wall. That was a big one.
No, can't be doing that.
Let's check out. Oh, he's blinking a little bit too. Let's see what damage he'll have on the right front, if any. That looked. I thought, to be fair, Whitley had some hard contact. I thought it was pretty significant. That Kyle Ritchie might have been a little bit more than that, so we'll see. It was enough that Randy Arms was able to jump to the inside and complete the pass, so that 76 definitely bounced off the wall. Yep, well, you can see the little scrape there on the right front.
Well, that's not good for my pick to win.
He's hoping it's cosmetic, but I can definitely see a little bit of scrape there. And these Xfinity cars are tough, but I don't know if they're that tough. Like I said, you don't want to chance fate. You'd rather just not hit the wall at all. You don't want to put it in the damage model's hands. You just want to take it into your own hands. But now it's Randy Arms. I think he might be the next best shot. Ritchie is starting to drop back, and you can see it here on this shot too. A little bit of damage. Oh. Ooh, iRacing. Hello? All right. Are we okay?
Do you have problems?
The whole lobby just blinked for me, so hopefully everybody else is okay to continue. It all looks okay now. I think we're back. Good here. All right. Well, we'll keep rolling then. Whew. Did not want to be in a rain delayed red flag situation here. Mazzella blinking a little bit, so oh boy. Oh boy. I think I'm good. My connection's looking good.
You're starting to go robotic you went robotic for a second there.
Quality looks okay on my end. We got some guys coming in though. Towards the back half of the field. Lap 75, Art, you called it. Nail on the head. We'll see if anyone wants to pull the trigger or go for a swing of the fences here. We're past halfway now. And none of your leaders. Top 13 have stayed out on the racetrack. Now here comes Michael Davis. And he's got some heavy right side damage. That's more than a cosmetic tap. He is had some heavy contact with the right side of that vehicle in the wall.
We have officially lost our first driver. He's scared me.
Yeah, I saw him make several pit stops under the yellow, the stage caution, and then he pitted on the first lap back and just, I don't know.
Schwartz is going to be coming in. Ryan Tiller's going to get it wound up trying to come in.
So yeah, my connection's saying stable, so it might just be just a little bit of hiccups in the server here and there. We're just hoping. We're halfway through. You got less than halfway to hold on. So just keep on holding out for us. Yep, come on with it. So now the top 10 have stayed out. Who pulls the trigger first for your championship?
It's gonna be
four?
Randy Arms
And Mazzella. All right, so they've taken a big swing out of here. Kyle Ritchie going to stay out on the racetrack with Mark Whitley. So it's the top 6 that have stayed out, 2 of them being your championship contenders. So Whitley and Ritchie are going to go long, and they're going to try and run back down Randy Arms and Mazzella. Later in the run, Mazzella blinking. So yeah, it's not just me. I'm not crazy, but it's going to be 4 tires and it's full of Sunoco fuel for everybody.
Here comes Whitley and Ritchie.
Right, so an instant response. They don't want to take any chances. We've seen a couple times where they'll stay out and really try and run them back down late. They just want to get on with it and go. Mazzella, 15.27 second pit stop. Randy Arms, 14.77. But he was slow on pit road, 45 seconds compared to Mazzella's 40 seconds. So, not sure what happened to Randy there, but here we go with Richie and Whitley.
Whitley out pretty clean. He's going to have a decent lead over there over Richie.
14.9 for Whitley, 14.6 for Richie. So that just shows you how good Whitley was getting on and off of pit road. Timings are a little bit messed up, so it's definitely an iRacing thing. It said Whitley spent 20 seconds on pit road, so that is obviously not correct. That would have been speeding penalty, and his race would have been done. So unfortunately, can't make the comparison.
Whitley's now under fire from Jonathan Schwartz, one of the first to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and it is definitely an iRacing thing because it's saying I got the lowest latency I've ever seen and then 100 quality. So it is unfortunately an iRacing thing. And we will just hope that it holds on. I got good bit rate on the OBS side of things, so iRacing, please. Oh, that was Demien trying to get down. Here's where you start to feel a little bit better, though, if you're Mark Whitley, assuming that, worst case scenario, that the server goes boom, which it is trying to do. At least for me, I don't know, but I've not seen any errors on my side. No warnings, no flashing bulbs. But Whitley put it on lap 79. We'll show you the overlay here. It doesn't even register it, but you can see his competitors, what they did. Whitley's hasn't updated because it was so recent. 79 for Whitley. Schwartz directly in front of him. Lap 76, so he's got 3-lap newer tires. Behind him, Randy Arms, Jared Lindsay, lap 77. Mazzella, lap 77. And so you're thinking, hey, I got fresher tires and the track position. So you start to just feel a little bit better, especially if it gets spread out a little bit. It did ever so slightly with the first round of green flag pit stops. It's just edging towards being in favor of Whitley here. But Randy, I mean, he's half a second back. He is not out of the fight.
Yeah, Randy is right there. Biggest, I'd say, winner of the green flag pit cycle.
Yeah, obviously.
At least of the four.
Yeah, obviously Whitley maintained, but Randy Arms has kind of separated himself now from Mazzella and Kyle Ritchie. So it's kind of like, all right, what does Randy now have to do to somehow get ahead of Mark Whitley? And they will be able to go almost to 120, but it'll be around the 110-ish mark. The window will open, though, before that, like 105, even lap 100 if you're really desperate. So we'll see when they elect to pull the trigger. The window opens in about 15 to 20 laps, so.
But we got a caution.
And that changes everything. That's Joseph McGill and Samuel Demien. Hold everything, folks. Just as we said that. Hard collision for the 69 and the 21. The 69 will tow off the racetrack. What in the world happened here? Yellow out immediately. Oh, the 69 just gets into the right rear of the 21 and turns him into the wall.
You need to look at that a little better. I think the 21 just, comes up into the 69's lane there.
Oh, yeah. I just saw the very tail end of it, but 21 just drifts. Yeah, my apologies to the 69. The 21 was just coming. He had the run. From that rear angle, it looked like the 69 came down at the last second, but that was not the case. So hold everything. Everybody's just going to come back in. You got the tire sets to do so. They cannot make it from here, so we still have one more stop. Doesn't change a whole lot.
Oh, now you can push it out a little bit further, 110.
Yeah, you could, it depends on when you want to make that last stop. But it should be...
Ooh, Mazzella was too far forward.
Yeah. Nobody gambling on 2 tires, obviously. I know we just came in, but... It's like shorts from Glenn Murphy Jr. from maybe Alex Chira. And he did take 2 tires.
I was going to say, I think Chira took 2 there.
He absolutely did.
I think 2 might have been.
And did he speed? No, because he's given... Okay, he did not beat the 77 out. He was nearly had it, and that could have been big.
I think 2 would have been the call there. You get, like, that's what's going to mainly wear down. The left sides are somewhat important. But, like, you just get those 2 on, you beat them out, and you just try and hold them off.
I wonder if that's what the plan was there. I mean, he almost made it work. If nothing else, I mean, good for the 20 machine. He's got some track position. Kyle Ritchie down
Ritchie's going to have a lot of ground. Yeah.
Mazzella in 10th, though, because he missed his box, and then Randy in 6th. So, Whitley's like, greater restart, more chaos, but if you can just sort the restart out, just go 25, 30 laps really, really hard, make your last pit stop, and then just see what happens from there, then it might be okay. Gonna have to survive the restart, though.
This could definitely help, the championship 3 behind Mark Whitley if Chira is able to get up there and, add another dynamic in front of Mark Whitley.
It sounds so obvious what we're saying, but, I mean, you just got to make sure you're mentally sound here. Obviously, can't let the pressure get to you. Make sure you get the gears cleanly. Don't spin the tires. If you need a lap to get settled and someone passes you, I mean, you might as well hand it over. There's still a decent amount left in this race, so you can't say, hey, I gotta go for broke right now on this restart. This is not... It could be, but it's not absolutely the crucial moment of the race. We'll just see how it goes. Will we have something like a Carl Edwards, Joey Logano moment? Does someone get desperate and, it ends up ruining the race and the championship for somebody?
Oh, big news. Jonathan Mazzella dropped due to upload packet
loss.
Oh,
and I had a feeling that might happen. It's been monitoring this connection, but that is the first defining moment in this championship race. He'll have to reconnect immediately if he wants any chance. So it left us a trio now. Mark Whitley, Randy Arms, and Kyle Ritchie. And I promise, like, look, quality 100, latency. I mean, it's let's take a look here. Everyone else looking good. Mazzella does reconnect, but he's gonna have to hope that it. I mean, he's gonna make a toe. He's gonna need a caution to get back in this race. And I just hate that for him. Lights right on top of the pace car. Lap 90. Be 50 to go next time by. The server is doing it is just trying to get us to the finish here.
Just wants to see us crown a champion.
Mazzella does make it back to pit road right as the car. That's just so brutal. Here we go. Schwartz, your leader.
Glenn Murphy Jr. might have a penalty. He had a jump there.
We'll see. And Whitley all over the back of that 58. We said, oh, make sure you take care of the little things, but that was... Oh, man, that 77's going for broke. He has said, you know what? We're just going to race the way we know how. And that is for the win. Shearer might be dropping back on those 2 tires to 6th. And it is a madhouse just behind your top 2.
I think the main thing there was just trying to get him out front of Whitley, potentially slow him down so Kyle Ritchie had a shot.
It did end up helping a little bit. That chaos allows Ritchie to get back up to 6, so he's gained 3 spots since the restart. Mazzella does get back on the racetrack, although laps down in 15th. He'll need a miracle to get back into this race, and I just feel so bad. Lap 92. I mean, it's not out of the question with the way that the lead pack is racing, but 14 cars in the lead lap. He's 2 laps down. He'll need a lot.
This has a lot of speed if he wants to get back to the front of this pack.
Yeah, how hard does Whitley want to push this? That 18's not going to yield the position now at this point of the race. I'm sure they're talking through, you know, what's the plan here? If I feel like I'm burning my stuff up, what's the play here? Because Randy's right there. This is now about as close as anybody has been. So what does Randy Arms do in this situation? He's got a golden view of the championship potentially right in front of him. The problem is Jared Lindsay's right there too, so he'll have to make it a 3-wide move and force the issue here if he wants to get ahead. We've gone from, we started at dusk, we're now under the lights, and we are inside of 50 laps from crowning a champion. And that 77 does finally clear the 18, that could be huge.
I think Lindsay just made a move there to try and get out of the way of Randy. He's going to let him go hunt.
And this is, there's one more stop left. I mean, the money stop, we're approaching it here in the next 20 or so laps. Here comes Kyle Ritchie. He wants to be in this fight as well. We'll slide up right in front of the 18 and say, hey, don't forget about me. So now we got 3rd, 4th, and 5th. This is the battle for the championship.
Yeah, with a money stop, you might almost want to push it to, 115, 120. But, like, how long do you push it? Like, do you potentially run yourself out of time to catch up back to leader?
Yeah, it does depend on who blinks first, because I always want to be the one on offense. That's just the way that it comes down to me. If there's 10 laps to go right, I want to be the one that has the fresher tires, that's on the attack. I don't want to be the one that's like, all right, the last 20 laps, they've been catching me a 10th of a lap, and I know they're quicker. That's just a demoralizing feeling. You want to be the one that say, hey, I'm going to go steam around you on the outside for a championship. The problem with that, like you said, is you can't wait till the very last moment or you might run out of time entirely to catch them. So it's a very finite game that everyone's trying to play. You can't wait too long, but if you go too early, then you're going to be caught at the end anyways. When's the perfect time to do it? How aggressive are you on pit entry? Trying to find those few tenths that you need to get the track position.
There's going to be a sweet spot. One of these drivers is going to find it. One of these drivers is going to walk home a champion here tonight.
The gap between Mark Whitley and Kyle Ritchie, your championship 3 now. Jonathan Mazzella needs 2 cautions to get back in after an internet connectivity issue. It is half a second. And that can easily be gained or lost on pit road. We're in for a thrilling conclusion to the Wilder Graphix 210. Don't go anywhere. Coming in on 40 laps to go in the next 2 laps.
Why'd you make that transition like you're going to commercial?
I'll cut the commercial now. I'll start running ads.
Man, we can. We got them. These LSRL companies, they make this league what it is. We need to give them their airtime. We don't get many cautions.
Seriously, they don't give us a lot of time to show it. We can't cut away from the action on track, obviously, when it's this good. And this server, I mean, it's just trying its best. Like, there's no, it's not a CPU thing. The computer's not overloaded. It's just strictly just something. It's iRacing. It's trying its best. All right. The gaps between your championship 3 have kind of stabled out. It's 3/10 from Whitley to Arms and about 2.5 from Arms to Richie. I think everyone's just kind of cautiously anticipating that last pit stop. It's a lot of single file now. They had 1 caution outside of the stage break, and that very well could be all we get with the trends of LSRL. I mean, that's more than likely going to be the last caution of the race, so you got to do it all on your own on the racetrack. Casey Brown getting a piece of the wall there. But who has that long run speed that can take the title inside of 40 laps to go now?
Well, we know who historically has it. It's the man running P3 right now.
Right, but Glenn Murphy Jr. actually, I think, has had the quickest car tonight. I really think he has. And even it looks like there he might have a little bit of cosmetic damage on the right side of that 48 machine.
Yeah, but he's not in the Championship 4.
Right. In terms of the Championship 4, it's obviously been Mark Whitley. To Randy's credit, he has not let him get away. He has been right there at 2.5 to 3/10 of a second. Kyle Ritchie, another 3/10 behind Randy. So I mean, it is 6.5 of a second.
Yeah, this could change.
That's at 6/10 on a pit stop. There will be, you hate to say it, but there's 1 to 3/10 of a second in the RNG, the randomized pit crew you get. So there's a tiny bit there. Which is actually a lot when the margins are this slim. But the majority of it, deservedly so, is the on and off of pit roads, your in-lap, your out-lap. That's where you make up the most time. You just gain that little bit of an advantage. If you say, I just need to get on the pit road really, really good, get that speeding penalty, you can kiss your championship goodbye.
Randy's starting to tuck up to Mark Whitley.
He's got it from 3/10 to 2/10. I think the 77, not necessarily struggling, just doesn't want to be super aggressive behind this 58 and burn his stuff up. That 58 is running that second to third line right where the 77 would like to run. All kind of mimicking each other's tire tracks right now, but although the 77 is now really close to that 58, everybody's on the same tires now due to that caution, so there's no 2 or 3 lap difference. It's all about the speed that you got. And that 77 just has a tiny bit more. That 58's not going to let him go easy, though.
He was looking. He wanted to make the move there. He's not going to try and take it around the outside. Does not like the dirty air.
77 has looked good in that middle to top lane. Has used that momentum excellently to his advantage. He's going to make a big send to the inside. Could this be the defining moment that he needs to get clear of Jonathan Schwartz? Going to try the slide job. They'll get it done, and Schwartz can't try a crossover move because Randy Arms is right there. Huge move in this championship race. And I think now if you're Mark Whitley, potentially 10 laps away from bringing it in, you might as well try and go for broke and try and expand that gap a little bit, and then pit in front of your rivals. Because if Mark Whitley's the first one to pit with 27 laps to go, 28 laps to go, and he gets on and off clean, I don't think anyone can catch him. I think you're going to have to keep close, and then we've seen it a couple times this year. Randy specifically has tried it a lot where he's done, a 3 or 4 lap undercut, but the tires just don't hold up towards the end of the run.
If Whitley is the first to come in of the Championship 3, I think he locks it up.
And we've said that a bunch, but that's obviously going to be communication between the driver and his crew. When do we want to pit? We're not going to be forced into a move from somebody else. But I always feel good just coming in first, staying the fresher tires. You're pitting from the track position to keep the track position. You're not, you know. Because Randy's sole goal from pitting from behind is to try and leapfrog this 77 somehow. That's he's got to figure out a way to pass him in the cycle of pit stops without pitting too early and blowing his tire advantage that he would have. But from Mark Whitley to Kyle Ritchie, it's a second. Still easily gained or lost on pit road. 30 laps to go next time by. We're well within the pit window. Even for green-white checkers, if we were somehow miraculously to get them, don't think we will. But, I mean, you're in the window now. We'll see who blinks first. They all pitted just 14 or 24 laps ago. So they have maybe a little bit of life left in these tires. We'll see.
I think this is where specifically Kyle...
I was just getting ready to mention that. And here comes Joseph Murata. I think if you're Kyle Ritchie...
You gotta be.
You're inside of 30 to go, and you're 1.1 seconds back. I think this is where you say, you know what? I was keeping up with them really good during the dusk and right at the beginning of the race. But just once the sun went down, I think they just had a little bit extra, so I think there's no shame in, you know, throwing a Hail Mary at it. Because right now, I'd say it's a two-car show.
Running slower, you're held up in traffic. You need to get in there, get fresh tires, and just start running laps and try and put a little bit between you and them. Like,
and here's the thing: you have an extra set of tires, so you could come in early and just go qualifying laps to the end, right? And you would have an extra set in case of a late caution. So it is not out of the question. And I'll tell you what, the race is now on. That's the first time I think I've seen Whitley drop below the apron at 112 laps. He realizes he cannot let that 8 get in front of him.
I think Kyle Ritchie is like missing out on his spot here. Every lap that goes by is another one where these two are going to potentially.
But if they start to battle, why does the 77 have a lot of damage?
What?
On my screen, the 77 has a ton of damage.
I don't see any.
Oh boy. Like, I mean, there is a hole in the grill. The right rear has been caved in. The left, he's got left side damage. Yeah, but
the spotter saying
good here. All right, that's fine. That as long as you're good. But Randy is there. He has found something in the last 10 laps or so. And I think in this phase right now, inside of 30 to go, Randy Arms is the quickest man on the racetrack. And if you're Mark Whitley, you might have to pit ahead of him, because if Randy gets the track position, he looks quick right now. And here comes everyone else in behind. I mean, here we go. It's underway. Last stop of the season, potentially. And here comes Whitley. Look, a little scruffy Kyle Ritchie coming in. Ritchie! That's a full send right there. That is a full send right there. Randy, I'm assuming, is going to instantly respond. He's going to squeeze every single ounce of horsepower and pace he can find out of that 8 machine. He's got to respond on this lap, I would assume.
It's going to be a good entry.
Don't miss your box. Don't miss your box. Don't miss your box. Oh, Ritchie misses his box, and that could be championship over.
Yeah,
and here comes Randy. Right at 50 miles an hour. Mark Whitley down and away. 14.78. 44.6 seconds on pit road. Kyle Ritchie, 45.8. He had a quicker stop, but it was just, he missed his box by that little bit. Whitley going to go for broke on the outlap. And he's cleared. He's going to have a nice draft, actually, on Lindsay just for a little bit. And here comes Randy. .9. Whitley's stop was a 10th.5 quicker. And Randy, 50 miles an hour. Right to the green commitment line on the exit. Here comes Mark Whitley. Is that one lap all that he needed? It is. Back in front. Mark Whitley
He is gone.
By 2 seconds. And ever increasing 2.8, 2.9 seconds he made up on the pit sequence. Heck, he even got around Glenn Murphy Jr. and all that, but Jared Lindsay pitting on 113 has him the lead. 22 laps to go. Whitley, 115. Randy, 116. There's a 1 lap difference on tires. And here's Richie and Randy battling. That's the last thing that they need. The literal last thing is the 2 championship contenders to battle as Whitley just kind of coasts home.
Kyle Richie not giving it to Randy easily. He's pinching him.
2.9 seconds, though. What do?
You don't really want to give up, but there's only 10 laps left, and he's on the same tires.
Hey, they are catching, though. 2.6. They're in the draft of Tiller and Michael Davis. They are catching. Could this be Whitley saving some tires? Glenn Murphy Jr. I think, has the best speed all night. I would imagine the 77 doesn't want to fight him. 20 laps to go. Glenn Murphy Jr. points it down to the bottom. And I think the 77 is be perfectly fine with that. And he'll just get pulled along in the draft. We'll say thank you very much. 2.3 seconds, though. They got to stop this side by side, though, and they're going to have to clear traffic. Randy does clear Kyle Richie. I imagine Tiller is not going to make this difficult. Look at Richie, almost on the right rear. Ryan Tiller going to go to the bottom, I'm assuming, in an attempt to block Richie, but he gets in front of Randy. Incidentally, servers doing server things. 1.7 seconds. Randy Arms is coming. 18 laps to go. Battle for the lead. When Schwartz finally decides to pit, he's gone super long in this stint. And it's Glenn Murphy Jr. Will Randy burn his stuff up before he gets there? It's 1.4 seconds out the cockpit. You can see the championship. It's right there in that red and white car. 1.3. He's pushing 4/10 a lap quicker. Is it sustainable?
I really doubt it. Especially if Whitley starts to actually, push.
When does Whitley respond? We know he's got a 30.7 in him. If Randy has a 30.7 in him, is he just waiting till he gets to about 7/8 of a second, then he opens it up? When does Whitley decide that he needs to step it up? 1.3 seconds. Richie half a second back from Randy. 1.8 behind Whitley. They're all cutting the apron. They're trying to maximize the time. Whitley just picked it up 30.8. To Randy's 30.8. Is Lindsay trying to back him up into Randy? I would assume so. 16 laps to go. Out of the race, Samuel Demien, Tony Scarbo. Joseph McGill Joseph McGill laps down, same with Alex Chira and Jonathan Mazzella.
Yeah, this is why I was kind of surprised that Whitley was so okay with Murphy going around and Lindsay going around. I would not want speed zone in front of me.
Well, he cleared Lindsay like he was standing still right there. He's going to have to keep him behind, though. You do not want Lindsay coming back at you. That gains another 10th for Randy, 1.2. But now there's a car in between Whitley and Arms again. It'll be Jared Lindsay. And I think Whitley, big sigh of relief there. He's pulling away. Jonathan Schwartz finally relinquishes the lead with 15 laps to go. I was just getting ready to say, does he have an extra fuel cell in there? But Glenn Murphy Jr. out front by 9/10 of a second. 1.1 back to Randy for Mark Whitley. And he is just hoping these are 14 laps at Bristol, not Vegas. There's a couple laps left, though. Randy getting a draft off the back of Jared Lindsay. It is 1.1 seconds. Lindsay's not going to make this difficult for Randy, I imagine. And again, it is the pit stop. The pit lane time, 44.58 seconds. For Jared Lindsay, 45.23. 45.8 for Kyle Ritchie. The gap is 1.1 seconds, and you got 0.6 of that on pit road. It's huge.
I can't help but think that Kyle Ritchie might have actually been in this if it wasn't for just being a little too far forward.
I mean, Kyle Ritchie did what you had to do on the entry. Just push it and just, he was going for broke. He said, if I speed, I speed. He was absolutely willing to risk it all right there. And he nailed the entry, but the entry to his box, a different story. It is now 1 second from Glenn Murphy Jr. to Mark Whitley. 1 second from Mark Whitley to Randy Arms. 1.3 seconds from Randy Arms to Kyle Ritchie.
Randy Arms consistent.
He's within a second. He is within a second. Last lap for Mark Whitley, 31.4. Randy a 31.3. And it is on. See the margin here, nearly 9.5 tenths of a second. And it has come down the last 5 laps. Oh, so close for Randy Arms. 10 top 10s in the prior 14 races, no wins. Ten laps to go in the season. 0.9 of a second. 0.8 of a second. Coming down to potentially the last lap. It was 0.7 of a second. Nine laps to go. 8.5 tenths, nearly 9 tenths. He needs a 10th a lap, Randy Arms, if he wants this championship. He's got it there, 8 tenths exactly.
He was slower the last lap, though.
Looking good so far in the first half of this lap. And the closer you get, the more draft you'll get off the back of that 77, and you can suck up to him. Then Murphy Jr. comfortably out ahead by 1.7 seconds. 8 laps to go. The gap is just under 0.8 of a second. And it is 1 lap difference on tires. Let's show you. Real quick. Lap 115 for Mark Whitley. Lap 116 for Randy Arms. Is that the difference? Just that 1 lap. Randy, 100th of a second quicker that lap. It's agonizingly close. Closing in on 0.6 of a second with 6 laps to go. He has to get there quicker, though, because getting there is one thing, passing him is another. They had history last week, a big run-in, a big clash at Auto Club. They talked it out, said they were good.
Another 10th that time from Randy. He's losing time.
Yeah, through turn 1, though. That was a great turn 1 for Whitley. If it just stays the same, that's a win for Whitley. Randy has to be consistently gaining on Mark Whitley if he wants a shot. No gain that time. Glenn Murphy Jr. 2 seconds out in front has run a perfect race. And there's Jonathan Mazzella. What could have been but he got to the last sequence of green flag pit stops. It's now stabilized at 7/10 of a second. Randy trying to do everything that he knows, everything in his toolbook. See Whitley actually increase the gap ever so slightly. Now it's under 7/10 of a second, but it's too little too late, I think. He's finally started to head back in the right direction. But it's now stabilized at 7/10 of a second. Randy now going to the high side, trying to find some momentum here late, trying to find some grip. And it lost him a 10th. 3 laps to go. And the Wilder Graphix 210. Down the back straightaway. Glenn Murphy Jr. does clear Jonathan Mazzella. 13 cars on the lead lap. Alex Chira. First man laps down.
Randy's out there hunting for anything that might give him speed. He's moving up.
We just need one more lap to make the race official. Whitley, 7/10. He was able to stop the leading at 7/10 of a second. Randy trying to get momentum built up. The server still acting up throughout the evening. But here comes Glenn Murphy Jr. If he could just power it up off of turn number 4. It's also what Mark Whitley wants to see. Get there, Glenn. Make the race official. And he'll get there. White flag in the air. And it's 7/10 of a second still. And guess what the difference on pit road, the pit lane time was? 7/10 of a second. And here we go. Glenn Murphy Jr. off of turn number 4. Brilliant race. Gonna win the race. Mark Whitley, a brilliant season. He's gonna win the championship. Andy Arms 7/10 short. Lindsay sliding through the grass in 4th. Kyle Ritchie gave it everything he had. 5th place. Schwartz just loses out to Casey Brown in the last lap. But congratulations are in order for Glenn Murphy Jr. on a perfect race. 4th to 1st. And Mark Whitley does not pick up the win like I predicted, but does win the championship anyways. To cap off his first season in LSRL. The new guy, the newcomer, gets it done. And Randy, gonna congratulate him. I know they had their run-in last week, but that's 2 competitors right there. They gave it absolutely everything. Was respectful all night. We got some dual burnouts that we'll need to see from the blimp cam.
I know we see some cars lining up in the back. I was going to ask that question. Are we doing it again?
We are doing the annual LSRL Demo Derby. We'll see if Whitley gets the memo. Let's see the announcement.
He's just enjoying his championship. He is burning it down.
Absolutely. But what a great championship race. As we head to the championship week, I want to remind everyone of our championship tradition. After the race is complete, we all line up on the back straight with the champion in the middle, count down, and proceed with the Demo Derby. So we'll see who comes out on top here. I think really the winner of the Demo Derby should be the new champion, but that's just me.
Willie's actually already in the waiting room.
We'll give the champion his due while we get ready to. Well, he gets ready to get piled into here, but we'll go ahead and let's get the champion in here. Mark Whitley, your season 9 champion, 6 wins on the season, and safe to say you had to earn it here tonight. A brilliant race and a well-deserved championship.
Yeah, that was intense the whole race, and feel like my hands are cramping up from grabbing the wheel so much.
Yeah, absolutely. You started out the race as well as you could have.
They all missed him.
He missed.
the points to hit the champion. Everyone drove around him, but you started out tonight as perfectly as you could, pole position,
Oh, sorry.
and you win the stage. So it's the perfect start to the race. But then in that second stage, just never really no dominant car of the evening. You and Randy and Kyle were all right there, and you had that first set of pit stops, and still really no separation. Maybe about a second and a half at the greatest, but it was really decided on that final pit stop of the night.
Yeah, it was just crazy how close we all were. Yeah, I was trying to save tires the entire run, so I figured it would come down to it, and I guess we just didn't really have the short run pace I thought we did, and it was just kind of saving the tires, and I really wanted to try to get as big of a gap as I could on that last green flag stop because I knew if I could hit it really good, then that would probably be give us it wouldn't be clinching, but it would definitely help us out, and got on the pit road, got to the box pretty good, and I think Richie slid through his box, so that helped us with him. And Randy was coming. He just kept coming. He was making the gap go down, 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 down. And I started changing something up because I figured I needed to do something. And it started working. And I think he burned his stuff up. And my spotter every lap is like, all right, this many to go. This is how far back. Like he was just keeping me informed on Randy, and we got the last 3 or 4 laps. I knew as long as I didn't knock the fence down, I should be good. And that last lap, I took it probably the easiest I took any lap the whole race. And I tell you what, I mean, this is crazy. Come out here, I normally have really bad luck with these championship races type deals. So kind of glad to finally have a clean one. When everything went good, no catastrophes, and we managed to pull off championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Well deserving. I mean, 6 wins in a 15 race season. Absolutely dominant. Numerous other podiums and just really a complete display. Short run speed, long run speed, green flag pit stops. I mean, just a well-deserved champion as it could have been. And just our congratulations to you on the perfect end to season 9 here.
Oh yeah, this means a lot. This league's pretty good. A lot of fast guys here. I know had to battle Randy for it. He made me get up on the wheel the whole race. So shout out to him for coming in second. I mean, the whole field, man, it was just that last race. I mean, like I said, I'm white knuckle. I got to go and drink some water or something because my hands are like almost in a claw shape right now. I can't even hardly open them.
Now, well, you go enjoy it, celebrate, and hope to see you back for next season. But congratulations again. We'll let you get any shout-outs in for the final time this season.
Yeah, huge shout out to Brantley. He normally can't make the whole one of these races, but he made an exception, made sure to spot me the whole race. Like I said, he was huge having him on the box, just counting me down, keeping me calm, just keeping me abreast of what was going on in the pack. And like I said, kept telling me, Randy was half a tenth, tenth. Sometimes if I messed up, and then other times he was just telling me we're even. So really appreciate all the information he gave me, spotting for me. Shout out to him. If you want to get something custom made paint scheme, check out harpoondesign.com or check him out on Trading Paint. Other shout out to my teammates. They're not in this league, but they helped me out, helped spotting a little bit whenever Brantley couldn't, or just give me some tight tips, and just all around being good teammates. And shout out to my family tuning into these broadcasted races. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I could bring this thing to championship victory lane for them. Hope they enjoyed the show, and can't wait to be back. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a full season next season, but we'll hopefully be back for at least part time.
Yeah, well, it's always a pleasure watching you race. It's a lot of fun, and hope to see you back very soon. Congratulations again on the season 9 championship.
Thank you.
I didn't get to say it during the interview, but Sharon Lindsay came in.
Dude, somebody got lit up. Okay, I think it was Kyle Ritchie got destroyed, but let's go ahead and continue on with the interviews in a comedic fashion. Let's get your race winner in here. Yes. Yeah. Glenn Murphy Jr., you finally got one of these suckers. I know you're running a part-time schedule. Before tonight, you had run 4 races, 3 of them with top 5s. And tonight, not running for a championship, but it looked like you were. Perfect race, long run speed, and really the dominant car of the evening, all things considered.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was the first one of the season. It's pretty cool. Yeah, obviously it wasn't racing for the championship, but I figured I didn't want to I didn't want to be involved in costing those guys anything. So my plan was to either get as far out front where it wouldn't matter, or to obviously not get up in the middle and affect anything what they had going on. But the car was super fast. I wasn't expecting to be that quick. I really felt like I was taking it easy for the most part on those runs. I didn't feel like I was trying to drive it that hard, which might have been why it was so quick. But yeah, it turned out good for us.
Yeah, you chose the second option, just get out so far in front of everybody else that you're not interfering with the championship battles. So you had a good battle with Mark Whitley in the first stage, tracking him all the way there, and then over the course of the long run, the second 100 laps, you just had that little bit extra, and you were able to pull away and bring home the win tonight.
Yeah, that first run was brutal. We were really short on fuel. We had to save like 5 laps of fuel, so there was times where Mark and I were literally side by side with like 5 to go. Neither one of us were even in the. I mean, he might have been killing the car too, but we were just floating through the corner racing like with. Both cars just off. But yeah, that was kind of unfortunate to have to race the first stage like that. But once everything got cleared up after that, we kind of get to see who the fastest car of the night to settle it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know obviously running a part-time schedule, but it's got to feel good to come in here and just get a win to end out the season.
Yeah, it's always one of those races too, man. I say, even not being part of the championship, if just kind of, I don't know, it's what ifs. If you did run it, then how the night ended up going, and that's kind of what I wanted to come out here. And I'm like, hey, maybe if we ended up picking up a W, we could have got us another one. But at the end of the day, I just don't have as much time to run it full anymore. But times I do get out here, I thoroughly enjoy racing with these guys. They're a good group.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of quick guys in here, and it's fun to watch you guys compete every week. And congratulations again on the win, and we'll let you get any shout-outs in if you have any.
All right, buddy, I appreciate it. Yeah, just shout out to Mark. I believe he was the champion winner there. I'm pulling for Randy, obviously. I've been racing with Randy for so long, but yeah, it's good. Congrats to him. I haven't raced them too much. I haven't really even talked to him too much since being in the league. Just racing them quite a few here and there. He seems to be pretty clean and fast, and seems like it was well deserved. And I appreciate you guys putting this on. And I'll catch you next season.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Congratulations again on the win here tonight.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
And then here with your third place finisher and championship runner up, and it's safe to say you literally left it all out on the racetrack tonight. You gave him tire track for tire track with Mark Whitley. Came down to the final pit stop.
Yeah, I thought, going a lap later would actually work out. I didn't think he would get that big a gap on me. And then I was just kind of banking on, just that one extra lap on tires, and just came out of pit road too far back. Was able to get, about half a second back, but that's all I had. I felt like I had really good long run speed after the sun went down, but that last run just wasn't long enough for me.
Yeah, it looked like you and Kyle and Jonathan, first of all, just feel for him. Obviously, didn't even get a chance to settle it out with the internet. But you guys were kind of swamping in the first maybe 60, 70 laps. Who was going to be the one that would end up going on to chase Whitley once, under the sun. But like you said, once the sun went down fully, right before that last pit stop, I mean, you were nearly shoving Whitley through the corners. I think you might have been the quickest car on the racetrack at one point. So you found something when the lights came on for sure.
Yeah, just for some reason when the sun, went down, my car just started to turn a lot better, and I was able to just carry more speed, and so that's what I said. If we would have had just maybe about 10 or 15 more laps, on that last run, I think I would have been all right. But she just came up a little short.
Yeah, no shame in that. Obviously, Mark Whitley, incredibly quick, 6 wins this season. I mean, you gave him everything he could handle and then some here tonight. So not a bad effort. Another good finish, obviously, but just our congratulations go out to you for another great season.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Can't wait to come back next year and hopefully finally take away one of these championships.
Yeah, the last 2 seasons, I believe season 8 was you and Schwartz, I believe, and then season 9 was you and Lindsay coming down to the wire.
Yeah, we've been close. Yeah, 3 or 4 years in a row. Just can't get that little extra.
Absolutely, but not for lack of trying. You might be the king of the demo derby here as a consolation prize. I think you are. So yeah,
I think so.
you do get the demo derby prize at the end of the season. So that's just as prestigious. Car still rolls too. So take that and head on into next season with all the momentum, I guess.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on a great effort, and we'll see you next season.
Yep. Thank you.
Got league owner Joseph Murata in here, capping off another successful season of the LSRL Xfinity Series.
Yeah, what a season, huh? I mean, super clean racing, super tight racing, and a great demo derby to finish it all off.
Yeah, absolutely. Started at Daytona, and then just again, we don't have the numbers directly in front of us, but just incredibly clean racing all season. Probably easily under 2 cautions, probably throughout the whole season for sure.
Yeah, I think we're averaging right around 2, just below 2. So pretty good with a couple super speedways in there, and I think Daytona I made it to lap 8 before I was out, so that probably helped the caution average.
Yeah, I think the season opener too, right? When we just everyone obviously Daytona. I think it had like 50 people, and it still averages at it too. So it just shows the testament of these guys and the quality they put on every week.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably hands down one of the cleanest leagues around. I mean, I can't say enough about that. That's one thing that we preach is trying to keep it as clean as possible. We have recruitment races coming up in next couple of weeks here. So if anyone's listening and wants to get in, hit us up on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, or just hit up one of the admins, and we'll get you into one of those recruitment races. But we don't look for speed; we look for clean, and I think clean racing makes great racing. So another great season again by all these guys, and fantastic broadcast by YJ Media Group. Couldn't do this without you guys, so appreciate you guys week in and week out coming out and supporting us as well. So just wanted to stop in, say thanks, and looking forward to another awesome season with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to make the broadcast good when the racing's so good. So definitely big shout out to you guys for making it entertaining, and looking forward to a big season 10. Very excited, and more details will be revealed shortly. So looking forward to it, and I can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all.
Yep.
Before you leave,
Hello.
go vote for it and driver feedback.
Oh,
Hello,
Relax,
Ryan.
driver feedback.
Hello there.
Here with the rest of the Speed Zone conglomerate, we'll just I'm over my allotted time. But what's the Speed Zone takeaway here from season 9? What's the final verdict? What was y'all's thoughts on tonight's race and the whole season?
Don't lag out.
Yeah, my heart goes out to you, Mazzella. You did not get a fair shake.
Yeah, I had some bad luck, but it's all good. It was fun.
Yeah, you were right there up until the internet gremlins came in.
Yeah, I started a blank, and it closed the connection, and I took off my headset, and it was fucking pouring. And I'm on Starlink, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking pouring.
No,
My bad.
you're good. No, I got honestly halfway through the race, my eyes started. Y'all were blinking out, and I looked at the connection. It said, "Oh, you're good," and I'm like, "Well, clearly something's not working right." So, a little
Blame
rain.
Facebook.
I don't know. Rain in the iRacing servers. I guess we could all blame it on that. So,
Yep.
but Mazzella, you obviously you had some good speed up until that. But another good race for the Speed Zone guys, keeping it clean, and yeah, anyone that wants to recap the season, what y'all think?
I'll go. I guess it's my turn. Pass or something, I guess. No, felt like it was a decent season. Kind of showed progression all season, and came to a front tonight. Got to actually race around Jared for one of the first times I've ever gotten to race around him. So just proved I had a little bit of speed, and then hanging out with Mazzella on track a little bit throughout the season, and I don't know. I feel like I showed a lot more speed than I had in seasons past. So definitely take that into next season and look to build off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's
interrupt
next?
anyone.
Landon
And I
Quisenberry,
guess-
top 10. Finally, get your third top 10 of the season.
Yeah, well, hopefully this rides into next season. I didn't even think I was going to finish top 10 today. I kept burning up the right front. I just kept telling everyone I was laying down rubber for everyone to get good grip. I mean, the first run I was on to like 37 on the right front, and the second run I was at 56. So,
Ooh.
I was having fun. I felt really fast on the like first 5 laps of the run.
Good job.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it was. And then I was like a barber, kept fading to the back, and I don't know. I just hopefully the luck turns around. Got to find a golden horseshoe around here or whatever, 4-leaf clover, something. And I don't know. We'll see. I got superstitious in the middle of the season. I almost switched back to Toyota, but I didn't do that. So we'll see what next season brings.
Absolutely. Tony Scarbo, just curious on what happened. I saw you had made a couple pit stops. Any technical gremlins or rain in the what happened?
Yeah, it said that I passed somebody under caution, so just disconnected and went for the dirt micros on Millbridge and just won my race there. So
Hey, there you
wish
go.
that could have been it could have been a regular race.
Yeah. There you go. Take what you can get. Shorts, I noticed tonight you were just absolutely rim riding, and I was like, hey, that's what he's doing, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it worked good when the sun was out, and then once the sun went down, it got super tight. So I just kind of stuck with it. Got nothing to lose. So, but I like running the wall at Vegas. So
Absolutely. Casey Brown, you are tied for the biggest mover with Randy, +4 tonight. What's your main takeaway?
This season was all about just trying to be consistent, but I noticed I beat myself a lot with just, pit road speeding penalties or just stupid mistakes on my part. And here the last few races, I've just kept it clean as I could and kind of learned how to drive this car a little bit more. And we showed some speed tonight. We were kind of backwards. We didn't qualify really well, but we raced really well. So I guess if I had to either qualify well or race well, I would pick race well every time. And we'll just continue on the next season. We'll keep the John Deere car riding on the next year, I guess. Everybody thinks it's bad luck, but nah, she good.
7th place tonight, so it looks pretty all right. Had some good speed, kept the car clean in one piece. But always a pleasure, Speed Zone, and looking forward to season 10.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Yep, y'all take care. Here with Atomic Motorsports, coming home tonight in Vegas, recapping their first season in the LSRL Xfinity Series. What's the main takeaway from tonight and then the overall season?
Tonight was don't scrape the wall too many times because you'll lose speed.
Yeah, tonight was don't wreck.
Definitely.
But overall, I mean, the season was awesome. First full season I've actually had a chance to run and definitely picked the right league. Yep. The guys are awesome. Guys are fast, clean racers. And the group ran very well. And obviously, huge shout out to you guys with the broadcasting. I love watching them back every night. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, this league is actually what got us back into iRacing.
Yeah,
we hadn't touched it for a long time, and we just decided to get back into the league. So,
yeah, absolutely. We were happy to have you guys here. You guys kept it clean first and foremost, so helped to put on the very impressive quality of racing we saw week in and week out. And so, yeah, you guys were a big part of that. And we're, like I said, happy to have you and glad you guys enjoyed it and hope to see you back for season 10.
We'll be there.
Absolutely. Tell your friends. Get them in here.
We'll absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it, fellas. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Maybe, I don't know. Scheduled should be released soon. But looking forward to season 10.
Sounds good. Thanks again for everything, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, here with TTSL Motorsports, Kyle Ritchie, Alex Chira. Kyle, tonight maybe a case of what could have been. You had some really solid speed. You were keeping right in touch with Whitley and Arms and just slid a little bit too far through your box on that last stop.
Yeah, we pulled the ultimate choke job of the year. What could have been. Pit road was not my friend tonight, and that's about all I had.
But
I was slow on the racetrack.
I don't necessarily think you're that slow. P5, I mean, two guys ahead of you, championship 4, and then Jared Lindsay and Glenn Murphy Jr. So I don't necessarily think you were that slow. You had you were right with them. You were the
competition. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the entry to pit road on the last stop was perfect, and then just the entry to box
I'm gonna
not
shout
as
out
perfect.
Dylan for that one. He yelled at me because my first green flag pit entry was like 2 seconds off. So I'm like, okay, it's all or nothing this pit stop. So we did all, and then we got nothing at the same time.
Yeah, it was very impressive though, because I was like, man, he is just because I respect it. He was like, I'm willing to get the speeding penalty. I mean, you
I was
flew in
for
there.
sure
Flew in
willing
there.
to gain anything. It almost worked until it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it did work, and then just the pit entry, I guess getting into your box, that was a whole separate issue. But
yeah, we struggled there, but it was a fun race.
they had some gave it your best shot, and nothing to be ashamed of. Great season.
Yeah, I'll take it for barely making it into the playoffs to start with. To be third in points, I'll take that.
Alex, good to see you again here tonight. Now you just make part-time start to season, but good to see you again.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of just like a last minute thing tonight. I really wasn't planning on running. It was just some more. I just asked Kyle. I was like, "Hey, should I run tonight?" He was like, "I mean, go for it." And I hopped in. I did about 30 minutes of like legit practice. I don't think I've actually ever. I don't know if I've ever driven the Xfinity car at Las Vegas before this tonight. So I just kind of hopped in and I just drove my own race. I tried to support Kyle as best as I could, because I knew he was trying to fight. I did kind of mess up at one point though when the one caution came out. I should have taken tires, but I think I was too focused on taking my hoodie off. So it's getting a little warm in my room. So
Fair enough.
I was just like, I'm not gonna take tires, and then I didn't realize it till after because I thought I was fine. I only was on 5-6 lap all tires at that point, and my rights were like 99, 98. So I'm like, all right, should be okay. And then I got gapped by like the entire field, and then I ended up smacking the wall at one point, and I just kind of just drove it. At some point, I was just like, you know what, I'll just take it
No execute order 66 in the playbook and back in the TTSL pages. Just take out the whole competition.
Yeah, we weren't gonna pull a Michael Waltrip racing.
Yeah, no, I wasn't planning on anything.
Fair enough.
So,
but
I just wanted to just finish the race. I was happy with myself. I felt like the first half of the race I was actually doing okay, and then at that one stop where I didn't take tires, kind of just I fell off, and I was just like, you know what, here's what it is.
Yeah, just ride it out. Yeah.
This track. Just ride it out to the finish, and hope for the best for Kyle. Really, that's kind of my thought throughout the entire race. Was just like hope he can get back up there. But,
Absolutely. But yeah, always a pleasure, fellas, and we'll see you back here on Monday night.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yep, thank you.
All right, and that concludes it for Season 9. Glenn Murphy Jr., your race winner. Mark Whitley, the champion. And remember when we interviewed Mark last week after he got back in Victory Lane? He said he did not like a one-race championship format. Felt like, hey, I had a dominant season. Any other point format, I'd probably clinch it by now. But he was able to, avoid any gremlins, chaos, and he does come home a champion. Probably the most deserving one we've seen in all the leagues that we've broadcasted so far.
Quite potentially, yeah. It was. I mean, he was scared, and I would have been too. I was looking at every possibility. I saw Chira take 2 tires.
So that actually was a 0 tire, because you heard what he said there. It was no tires.
Yeah.
So.
And then the speed zone guys, it would take just one order for one of those guys to just park it on his nose.
Yeah.
But they raced him clean. They let him run his his thing.
Yeah, and big props to Randy Arms. I know he was pretty frustrated with him in the heat of the moment last week, and they had their incidents. But he was right on the back bumper of him for several laps tonight, and they raced each other clean, settled it on track, and that's always good to see. So thrilling championship finale. First one of the season for Glenn Murphy Jr. Really good result tonight for Casey Brown, Michael Davis, Quisenberry. And yeah, we're looking forward to season 10. Announcements to be posted soon, so stay tuned for that. And then next Monday night, Xfinity Racing Series, the only thing on deck for the moment, as they head to Bristol Motor Speedway. So looking forward to that. Next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Y'all have a good rest of the week. We'll see you back here next Monday. Well, take care.